What is up, everybody, and welcome to back to another episode of the Classic Chronicles. Now, today, I wanted to give you a little bit of a story from summer. Since it is summertime here, I thought I'd share a little bit of a summer story with you. So, the year is 1997. My brother Gus and I should say, we were enjoying our summer just like any other 10 or 11-year-old kids respectively would enjoy. And all of a sudden my mom had came to us and said that, hey, I saw this commercial for a sleepaway camp, the Fresh Air Fund, endorsed by Mariah Carey. So she's like, hey, since it was endorsed by Mariah Carey, you figure that it would be good, right? Uh, Boy, was she wrong on that. But we ended up going there. We had gone to a bus terminal in Manhattan to get on the bus to go up to Connecticut, I believe, to go to sleepaway camp, and what do you call it? It was just doomed from the jump. I mean, I begged and pleaded with my mom not to let us go. Like, I knew something bad was gonna happen. I don't know if it was just instinct or whatever it was, but I knew something crazy was about to happen, and I turned out to be right. So it was for a week in August of '97. You know, uh, SummerSlam had just come to New Jersey, and I really wanted to go to that, but instead ended up going to sleepaway camp. Damn it. Anyway, and so me and my brother went, and it was just terrible, like I said. So one of the things that made it so terrible was being away from my mom for a week. Now, I had been to the games for the physically challenged, and that was like a day and a half trip, so I really wasn't that bad, and it was with people I knew, so it wasn't that bad. But this was gonna suck because I was away from home with not by myself, but with my brother. But other than my brother, I really didn't know anybody, and I was a really shy little kid, believe it or not. So had a tough time, communicating with people, and so we're sitting at the bus terminal. I'm like crying my eyes out, begging not to go. And Gus is just like, "Fuck it, why do I have to do this? I could be enjoying my summer, getting girls and stuff like that, but instead I'm here." So, and I packed my WCW wrestling action figures to kind of let me help me cope with the situation, but didn't do much good because this little motherfucker named Matthew that we met on our way to the I mean, who was waiting to go on the to camp as well with us, tried to steal my Vader and Sting action figures. You didn't get them, so whatever you're doing now, yeah, screw you, man. Nah. Anyway, no. In all seriousness, all right. So we gotta take a 2.5 hour ride out to Connecticut on this big ass bus, and there's like it's like me, my brother, and like 50 other kids or whatever. So we get there, a nice area. You would think, Connecticut, real nice area, and but nah. I mean, first we get off the bus, and like they don't apparently the people that work there never seen a dude in a wheelchair before, because they were like absolutely dumbfounded. It was like, do these people really actually exist? I mean, I'm sure they didn't say it out loud, but I'm sure they were thinking it, because that's the kind of look they had on their face. So we get there, and nothing is accessible. the cabins were really like small, and it was like six of us crammed in one cabin along with two counselors. I mean, our counselors were kind of cool. I mean, Lou, and I forgot the other dude's name or whatever, but yeah, they were really cool, at least to me anyway. But my brother told me a story where told my mom a story when we got back, that of some cruel shit that they had done, and I'll get into that in a second. So what do you call it? And then I'm like, I'm still crying. I'm like so upset, and my mom is like, yeah, my mom is trying to comfort me before I go, talking about, oh, that when you come back, we're gonna get you like a PlayStation and a Nintendo 64 and all of that, just anything to try and calm me down. So and that did calm me down a little bit, because as I told y'all, I'm a huge gamer, and that kind of gave me a little bit of comfort in a tough situation. So we oh, I'm moving a little fast here. Let me skip back a little bit. My sister Erica was supposed to join my brother and I, but she somehow got out of it at the last second. I don't remember what the situation was, but she somehow got out of it. Anyway, that's not really important. But what is important is, we were in a cabin with six other dudes, and it was tough. And then we didn't really know the other dudes, so, and then like they would try to pick on me, but my brother would always try to defend me, and end up kicking the shit out of all five of them once. It was the most funniest thing. What do you call it? Because they were making fun of me being in a wheelchair or whatever. But my brother doesn't play that shit. He's all about having my back, which I'll always thank him for. So what do you call it? We get there, and then what do you call it? Instead of the counselors doing their jobs, helping me take a bath, and helping me feel more acclimated, and trying to help me fit in or whatever. They didn't help me do shit. My brother tried to help me take a shower, because back then I didn't know how to shower myself or whatever. So he tried to help me take a shower and all that, but like it was tough, because like I said, nothing was wheelchair accessible, and it was just bad. And then one night, they according to the counselors, the dudes in the cabin were the rest of the guys in the cabin, with the exception of me, were like misbehaving. So one counselor stayed back with me, and while the other counselor took the boys out, and without flashlights, and kind of left them in the woods. So, and they had to kind of find their way back to the cabin, which was fucking absolutely insane. What if my brother had gotten killed out there, like or hurt? Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know where he's at. I don't know where they're at, and all that. But one silver lining, if there was any of the whole thing, was just strengthening the bond with my brother. I mean, like, we've always been close, but that experience and that whole trip together made us closer. And we're still close to this day. Love them. I love you guys, man. Shout out to you. So what do you call it? And the only time we got to see girls, really, because girls were on one side of the camp and we were on the other side. So the only time that we got to see them was either when we were all eating together, or when we were at the pool. And I'm a good swimmer, so I got to go in the deep end real quick. They used to give out bands. Blue, if you're not such a good swimmer, you stay on the shallow end of the pool. Then yellow, and then green, if you're an okay swimmer, you can go up to 5 feet. And then a blue band, if you're a really good swimmer, then you can go into the deep end, the 9-foot pool. And that's where I always was, because I was a really good swimmer. So that was pretty cool. I love swimming, like I said. So That was the only silver lining, you know. Used to be this like really hot chick named Monique. That was a counselor there, and you know we used to always lock eyes with each other. It would be cool, but you know nothing ever came of it. She was like at the time I think she was like 20 something, and I was only like 10, so hey, you know it wasn't gonna work out. But hey, whatever. So okay, we so in one thing I remember about sleepaway camp is one another funny thing is when there was a daddy. I remember there being a daddy long legs in the shower. Now anybody that knows spiders know daddy long legs are like really harmless spiders. So this kid named Mark that we used to hang that was in our cabin, like yo. He was what do you call it? He refused to take a shower because he saw a daddy long legs in the shower. So us being the motherfuckers that we are, we kind of like carried him in the shower and like and what do you call it? We two of us grabbed his legs and the other two grabbed his upper half and like yo he's holding onto the wall trying to like stop himself from getting in the shower. Yo, it was absolutely hilarious. But yeah, that's one funny thing. And I remember us. Fast forward a week later, we get back, and my mom notices that, like, that I had a little bit of an odor on me because I wasn't able to shower all week, for the time I was up there. And she was asking me, did I shower? And I'm like, no. And then she's like, why didn't you shower? Like, are you afraid? Are you afraid of being negative for other people? I'm like, no, it's not that. I'm like, the shower wasn't wheelchair accessible. And they're like, oh, where was your brother at? And then I'm like, yeah, he was there, but he couldn't do nothing, because they used to they used to not want us, not want him to help me with anything or whatever. Like basically, I was just there. It's bullshit. So I remember going home and all that, and then like spending an hour and a half in the shower, just trying to get clean, basically because I wasn't clean. I was dirty, and anybody that knows me knows I'm not a dirty person. Like I hate being dirty. I hate being dirty as far as hygiene goes. I hate a dirty room. I hate a mess in a room. Like I'm an absolute neat freak. Like you might even call me a xenophobe. Like I hate germs. I hate dirt. I hate all that stuff. So, oh man, yeah. What do you call it? So that was our sleepaway camp experience. My mom my mom came through on the promise, though. She did get me a Nintendo 64 and a PlayStation when I came back, man. And ever since then, I never went to sleepaway camp, and that was over 20 years ago. And bottom line is, don't go to a sleepaway camp, even if it is endorsed by a celebrity, because chances are they're only doing it for the money. They don't give a shit about the product. And as for my mom, she didn't sue them or she didn't sue them, but they did get in trouble for other incidences that they had, and I don't think they exist anymore. I could be wrong on that, but I haven't heard anything about them. So that was one hell of an experience, one hell of a summer. I hope you enjoyed the story, and thanks for kicking it with me for these past 15 minutes, or 14 is some change or whatever it is. Thanks for kicking it with me. Like, subscribe, share, and tell your friends, and let's help this channel grow. And as always, put God first and family first, and everything else will fall into place. I'm Izzy. I'm out, and I'll catch you on the next one. Stay safe. Peace.